morning, guys. So, in our last session, we discussed about a couple of S3 bucket properties, like a static website hosting, storage, class analysis, and all. So, any questions before starting the session, guys?
Hi, Anish.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I have tried the task.
Okay.
I am able to give that permission in inline policy for the specific bucket using ARN, but I am unable to upload the files. I have given the full permissions for in S3.
I just want to see what exactly that configuration is. So, without seeing that configuration, so a bit difficult to analyze that. So, can you do one thing, Jagadish? Can you take a screenshot of the permissions and what exactly permissions you have given in that inline policy or for that IAM user? So, can you post that screenshot in our Slack channel? Then we can look into that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Avinash, I done the version that task for the bucket permission. So I created a group and I created a policy. So policy there is uncheck the list all my buckets permission, special permission, and the remaining all on. Then read I given all and right I already given. The below it was telling you that if you want to see all or if you don't want to see all. So based on that I created. So I created 3 buckets. I given to the only one bucket the particular group. It was okay. I can able to access, but I have to give the full URL to see the document.
Yes.
Inside the bucket.
Exactly.
Outside, I cannot see all 3 also, even though I have. Yeah.
Yes. So that's what I asked you guys to perform. That's what the task I given actually. So even on that day also I mentioned that thing. So well, whenever you're trying to give this URL, it should not show anything and it should give an error. But for whatever the bucket you have allocated permission, whenever you go to that particular bucket, see, whenever you give this URL, so then only you can see this bucket.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Yeah, that's what the task I have given. So you cannot even see what other users have and all. You are allowed to work only on your bucket. So that is the reason I have given the task. And that's one of the tasks we got in an interview. So how you are going to and all that's one question we faced in interview. Right. So any other questions? All right. So then today we are going to start with you know an option how we can import or export a large set of data to S3 platform. So we have like an option called Snowball. So earlier we used to have an option called AWS import and export service where we need to send our own device to AWS by creating a job. So after creating a job, what AWS, like, whenever we send the device to AWS, they are going to copy all the data and they will send our device back. But Amazon stopped supporting that service. So now Amazon itself have different variant devices. So we have 8 TB device, we have 40 TB device, we have 100 TB device. So based on your requirement, you need to order one device. And Amazon is going to send the device. So based on either it is an import data or export data job. So you already have data in S3 bucket. You want to get all the data to your local. So in that case, order a job and select a bucket. Okay, from what are all the buckets you want to get data to your on-premise. So Amazon first copy all the data to the device. Just treat it as a pen drive, guys. Amazon have your data, they want to send it to you, or you have some data, you want to send it to AWS without using the internet connectivity. Okay, So in that case, Amazon is going to copy all the data from the selected buckets. Then they will send you the pen drive type of device. Then you can copy locally, or you have it locally. So Amazon is going to send an empty device, connect the device to your network. So then copy all the data, then send the device back to AWS. So to done this job, we have some devices. So that devices comes under Snow family. So Snowcon is one device. Snowball is a previous generation of the device. So now Amazon is not supporting any Snowball. So Snowball Edge is there. Snowball within this again storage optimized, compute optimized, such type of devices are there. And we have Snow Mobile device is there. So Snowcon basically it's 8 TB device. Snowball Edge, multiple variants available. It's not with the fixed storage from 40 TB to 100 TB. Snow Mobile, it's a petabyte scale container. Multiple petabyte of the data we can upload to AWS. So that is Snow Mobile. So to order the device, so first of all, navigate to AWS Management Console. Scroll down. Here under migration and transfer, you can find AWS Snow family. So select that AWS Snow family. So here order an AWS Snow family device. So here we have different devices with different pricings. So take any device. When Amazon is sending the device to us, first 10 days, they are not going to cost us anything. After that 10 days, they are going to cost like, based on the device and based on the storage. So this is a snow cone. So whenever you need this device, you need to order this. So that for that, we need to create a job. Okay. So based on the job, we are going to see service fee per job is $60 per day fees. First 5 days. First 5 days, they are not going to cost us anything. Okay. So after 5 days, for every single day, we are going to get charged $6 per day. So per job, it's a $60. No one is going to ask you price. 5 days free, just to have a knowledge, and 5 days free. After that, per day, $6. Right? So that is a snowball. So basically, it comes with the 8 TB device and all. So if you lost the device, you need to pay $2,000 to AWS. That's a secondary thing. So that is a snow cone device. And similarly, we have snowball, right? So within snowball, so here it is going to cost us $300 per job. $300 per job. Similarly, how exactly? See, it is a small device, so but here it is a big device, right? So $300 per job. It's a 10 days free. After 10 days, per day, $30 you need to pay. How many days you are going to keep the device. And when coming to the Snow Mobile, it's not a fixed one. So you need to contact AWS. I'll show you the device, then you will get a clarity. So here are some examples, how much data we are transferring and all, and what is the fees and all. So that's a standard pricing for that. So Snow Mobile, I hope they won't give the pricing. You need to contact AWS. See, there is no direct pricing. So per month, this is a cost. So now click on add on AWS Snow family device. So now what do you want to do? So do you want to import into Amazon S3 or export from Amazon S3, or you want to use it as local compute and storage only? So local compute and storage means Amazon is going to send an empty device to us. Then you can use the device as your wish. So you can use it like, For example, once I got a chance to work on this snowball. So at that time I took a couple of a small video on this. So I'll show you that. So you know we added it as a local compute. Why? Because we want to reconfigure entire environment. So we have approximately 30 TB data. So temporarily we need to store the 30 TB data in a device. So what we did, we added a AWS device. AWS send an empty device. So temporarily we put all the 30 TB data into the device. Then we have performed all the reconfigurations and all. We all performed all the reconfiguration. Once reconfiguration, hardware upgradation, everything is completed, and simply we copied all the data back to that newly configured environment. We deleted all the data from the device and we send again empty device back to AWS. So for that purpose, we can use this. Amazon send an empty device. Again, you need to send an empty device back. But in between, whatever you want to do, you can use it. You can even use it as a cluster also to see single device, multiple device. You can order multiple and you can even design it as a cluster also. Every month you need to pay, per day you need to pay for this device. So let me select import into Amazon S3. So now I'm in Mumbai region, right? So here in Mumbai region, we have a limitation. We need to give GSTIN number. Otherwise, it won't allow you to go to next step. So here, to what address you want to ship, select that. You want to go with the express shipping or standard shipping. If you want to give a new address also, you can go here and you can pick that, right? So scroll down, express shipping or standard shipping. And you need to give this, then click on next. Click on next, and here choose your job details. So what type of device you're looking for? See, Snowball Edge compute optimized, Snowball Edge compute optimized with GPU. So basically, this hardware device is not just going to contain the server storage, it even is going to contain a storage device, a compute device also. Not just the storage, a compute also we are going to get. See, so this is exactly, this how exactly the device looks like. So we are going to have a touch screen and you can connect this device to your local network. And when DHCP is enabled within your local network, automatically an IP address is going to allocate it. And you need to download one client and you need to install that client in your local machine. Then you can start communicating with this. Before communicating, you need to unlock this device with a manifest file and unlocking code. Whenever you create a job, then only you will get that. So those things you need to have to unlock this device. Then only you can start communicating with this device. So I have a couple of commands for that. I'll share you that commands now. Right. So what exactly device you required? So if you observe, snow cone is not available here. But if you're taking Northern Virginia and all, yes, there is the snow cone device is available. So it depends on the country and all. So for some countries, for some regions, this snowball itself is not available. So here you observe we have a snow cone that is 8 TB device. Along with that 8 TB storage, we are going to get a server that contains configuration of 4 GB memory, 2 virtual CPUs. And Snowball Edge 32 GB memory and 24 virtual CPUs and 80 TB storage capacity. See, this is 40 TB storage capacity. This is 80 TB storage capacity. This is again 40 TB storage capacity. It varies from 40 to 100. Okay, so from what bucket you want to handle, you need to choose. So let's go here. And from what bucket? Okay, I want to import all the data to this particular bucket. And so what do you want to do with the server you have, that compute you have, that EC2? We will have introduction today. Just leave it blank. Okay, we need to give a job name. That must be unique within your AWS account only. Then click on next. And here, encryption mechanism. Whatever the data you're going to copy to this device. So basically, Amazon is going to depend on courier service only. If it is an international DHL courier service, if it is a USA UPS courier services, United Parcel Service, right? So you might have a doubt, okay, that courier service guy may connect this device to any of the environment and he might um, access all our data. So in that case, what you can do, if you encrypt your data, so there is no option to disable the encryption. First of all, you must encrypt, but only you want to go with the AWS encryption key or you want to go with your custom encryption key. So you need to choose that. So they cannot view as they don't have any permission to decrypt this file. Only your AWS account have. This you know how to create and all, right? So we are going to give a service access as Amazon want to copy data on behalf of us. So click on next. And here notifications, you want to get notification related to this, then go here to what notification, S3 notifications too. This is the one we configured a couple of days back. Otherwise, if you want to get notification to a new email ID, go here, give a notification, snowball notifications. You can get whatever email ID, but make sure you confirm subscription. If you are not confirming the subscription, you won't get it. So then click on next. And this is optional one, Ops Hub, where you can monitor all the jobs. Then click on next. This is a review screen. So review all this and click on create job. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you click on create job, you can cancel it within an hour. You're not going to get charged anything. But if you fail to cancel, Amazon is going to cost you this $300. So don't get into that unnecessary issues. So just cancel this. So to unlock this device, or basically we are going to have a client based on the device. For example, if you are going to Snowball, so we have resource section, go to resources. Here Snowball Edge client is there. Navigate to the Snowball Edge client and install this client in your local machine. So then you can start executing a command called AWS Snowball. So as a first thing, whenever you got the device, download this driver and install this client in your local machine. That's the first thing. So here a couple of related videos, blogs and all. So how it is going to work and all, that video is also available here. Right. So that's the first thing. So after installing the clients, I have, here is a document. So as a step one, you need to unlock the device. Snowball Edge space unlock device, then endpoint. So this is the IP address we got to our device. This is the IP address we got to our device. So as I mentioned, either DHCP or manual configuration. We need to give one IP address to the device once we connected that to our network. So then -manifest file is a command, and where exactly that manifest file is, it will be in .bin format. Then space -unlock code. Then we need to give the unlock code. So we have two options. Either you can use S3 endpoint or NFS client. So these are the commands. AWS space S3 space CP, then your local file, then S3 bucket, then we need to give the endpoint. So similarly, we can copy. To know your device status, you can use this command, describe device. Okay. So now, when coming to this job, so as I mentioned, I have a small video on this. I'll quickly show you. Whenever you create a job, you are going to get okay. So here is a small video on that. So this is how exactly that screen looks like whenever you order a device and when the device is shipped to you. So see here on in 2019. So we added one device, and here is a details about that. What is a job name? And see here two things. One is client unlock code. You're going to get a client unlock code and you're going to get a manifest file. So first you need to download these two into your local machine. See here you can find the status: job created, appliances prepared, prepared shipment, it is shipped to you and it is delivered to you. Now it is in my organizational environment. It is in my organizational environment now. So here is an option: get credentials. These are the credentials to unlock. See, client unlock code, whatever the one you got, you need to give that unlock code here. Copy and paste that unlock code here. First thing, manifest file. Download the manifest file. Once you download the manifest file, give the path to that. The manifest file path. So that's it. So then we are going to get the data and the device is going to unblock. How you can verify that device unblocked or not? We can use this describe device command. So by using this, so I'll share this document, right? So this is how exactly we transfer data to the Snowball or Snowball Edge devices. When coming to the Snow Mobile, it's a petabyte of the petabyte scale container data. See, this is the device. See, this is a Snow Mobile device. So if you want to move your entire data center to AWS, or let's take a scenario where you have 1 Gbps internet line. You have 1 Gbps internet line, and with 80% of the utilization of that line, if you want to upload 1 petabyte of the data over internet by using 1 Gbps, it is going to take approximately 20 to 25 years to upload data with 1 Gbps. Right. So instead of waiting for 20 to 25 years after creating an upload job to S3 platform, what you can do, you can contact AWS, ask them to send this device, and they are going to send this device to you. So within 3 months, you can upload all the data to AWS. So it's a petabyte scale. For this 1 petabyte, this is what the duration it is going to. But this device itself, it supports multiple petabytes. So we have an organization called Dizzy Global. So they have used this and to migrate all the data to AWS, and you can find their use case also here. AWS Snow Mobile. You can find some use cases. Yeah, here it is. So Dizzy Globe. So they delivered petabytes of the data in weeks instead of months while saving on cost and all. So he's a guy VP of infrastructure. So he's explaining same thing. There's a little case study about that. So so you need to know these devices mainly for certification point of view. And if you're adding a 5 years of experience and all, if you got this question specifically, mainly if you're adding 5 years of experience and all, if they point something did you got any chance to work on this device and all, then you can say yes, but make sure you remember that commands. First of all, we need to unlock, so then you can transfer all the data and all. Just keep those things in mind, then definitely he will trust you, that is what the procedure to move the data. So as we are using all these devices, we are nowhere depending on the internet, right? So any questions on these devices?
Avinash, you're saying that if you don't have internet, this is the cases. If I have internet, I want to migrate using the third-party tool ShareGate and all. Still applicable these devices like ATP data to migrate to the AWS?
No need to. See, whenever you're depending on internet, you don't need to depend on this device. For example, you have a file, you want to share it, you want to share that file over the Google Drive. So in
Like
that
a migration, upgrade the versions to from local environment to the AWS environment with upgradation of that using the third-party tool, so that we have internet, so no need to go for these devices, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Avinash, even if I have the internet, the speed matters, right? So when we
Yes.
consider this case, when it is like, yeah, you said like it will take 20 to 25 years to upload 1 PB of data.
Yes, I'm going to show you that. That's what my next slide is. So I have a small slide for that. If you having this speed, how much it is going to, that's what I'm going to talk now.
Yeah, okay, Avinash.
Any other questions, guys, related to these devices?
And regarding the devices and space storage, do we have any time limit, Avinash? For example, like Snowball will be uploaded within like 1 week or 1 month. Do we have any specified time limits by Amazon?
See, whenever we are getting the device, it is going to take like, initially we are going to get 10 days under free tier limitation. After 10 days, for every single day, you are going to get charged. So there is no limit. If you are going to keep it for 100 days, yes, you can definitely keep it. But after that, we are going to get charged, right? So we need to pay for that.
Okay.
Yeah. So in what case we are going to in what scenario we are going to use that whenever we have internet line and all. So when coming to this internet, so you have 100 TB data. You have 100 TB data with 44 Mbps internet line with 80% utilization of that, your network of this 44 MB. To upload this 100 TB, it is going to take 269 days. So then in what case you need to consider Snowball or Snowball Edge devices? So if you have 2 TB or more data, then you can consider this device. If you have 100 Mbps line, instead of 44 Mbps line, you have 100 Mbps line. If you want to upload 100 TB data, it is going to take 120 days. So now, instead of uploading all the data with this 100 Mbps line for 120 days, so what you can do, you can consider the device and you can copy all the data to the device. As the device is residing in your local network, you can copy pretty quickly. So then you can send the device back. So within a week, you can upload all this 100 TB data. The same 100 TB data with 1000 Mbps line. It is 1 Gbps line. Within that 1 Gbps, if you want to upload 100 TB data, it is going to take 12 days. In what scenario? With 1000 Mbps line, if you have 60 TB or more data, then consider to use this Snowball device. So these are a small example, what is your speed and when to consider that. So in simple, 2 factors. First thing, are you okay to use internet? Second thing, how big is your data? And how soon you want to migrate the data, right? So based on these things, we are going to decide.
Avinash, are we really using Snowballs still?
Sorry?
Are we really using Snowballs even now?
Yes, of course. I've shown you that UPS tracking ID also, right?
Okay.
See, that's a real job we used.
No, it was. You're right, but I don't think in 2021 era companies are using still Snowballs. That's why it's a
Who's they do? For example, you have 100 TB data. How you are going to?
We have data.
You are going to provision a new dedicated internet line and
We do.
Sorry?
We do, yeah. Yeah, we have data direct.
Yeah, I agree. But just for this job, for example, your organization might have 1 Gbps line. I definitely agree. But you're using 80% of the data for this job. So what all your developers, your entire office is going to use just use 20% internet for these 10 days or 5 days.
We have
They will
10
raise a
gig.
complaint, right? For this
We-
job, you need to provision a line, first thing. Just
I
for this
understand.
one.
Yeah, thank you. But we have
And
10
for
Gbps,
that,
but
you
that's
need to
fine.
pay additionally. So compare when coming to cost comparison, provisioning a line and using that line for this job, the cost, compare that cost and compare the snowball device cost. Which one is lower? Organization prefer to go with that, right? So just for this, like, only one single job, they really don't go with that, like, provisioning a dedicated or leased lines, I believe. Right. So those are the devices. So now we have another option, that AWS Direct Connect. When coming to this AWS Direct Connect, so you don't want to depend on the internet, right? So you want to like extend your on-premise environment to AWS environment. So in that case, what you can do, you can ask Amazon to provision a hybrid environment. So in that case, AWS is going to provision this AWS Direct Connect line from their nearby partner. So we are going to get a fiber connectivity from AWS environment to our local environment. So Amazon is going to place a device in our on-premise environment to access your any of the resources. You don't need to depend on, like, internet connectivity. Without having internet connectivity also, we can access all our AWS resources. We can access all our resources by using this direct connect. But again, here, while creating a direct connect, so you need to choose what bandwidth you require. Based on that bandwidth and how much data you're transferring, based on these two things, AWS is going to get charged us. So AWS Direct Connect is a service, like it's a dedicated connectivity between AWS environment and our local on-premise environment. So we will get a fiber cable, fiber connectivity. AWS will give fiber connectivity. Again, from Mumbai to Hyderabad, they are not going to lay down any cable. So they have partners. For example, if you are taking Hyderabad, they partnered with Zio or Sifi Network, right? Or TBC, Tata Business Communications, or Tata Telecommunications. They partner with such type of telecom providers. From that environment, we are going to get a cable. So without taking any ISP connectivity and all, so just like your own resource, like, without having internet and all, you can access S3 resources, you can access your servers, just like your on-premise resources. So that service name is AWS Direct Connect. So here you can find under migration, networking and content delivery, you can find AWS Direct Connect. So we need to request the connectivity first. So then one of the partner will contact us. So here, like, what is the connection name we want to give, and the location, like, so for Mumbai region or for Hyderabad, then what is the speed, port speed you want to 1 GB or 10 gigs. So then connect through an AWS Direct Connect partner. So these are the service providers, Tata Communications, or you want to go with any other, then you can give the provider name here, right? So then whenever you create a connection, so one request will go to that service provider. So then he will contact us. Whenever you create a connection, one request will go and download letter of authorization we need to give, and a provider will contact us and he's going to configure. We don't need to perform anything. AWS professional service team will visit our network and they're going to provision everything. So they will establish the private connectivity, right? Easy to establish a dedicated network connection from your on-premise to AWS Direct Connect. You can establish private connectivity between AWS and your data center, office, or co-location environment. So This is a service we mainly use for the hybrid environments. Extension to your AWS or on-premise. Like, vice versa, you can treat it as. That service name is AWS Direct Connect. Remember that service name. So it's important for your cloud practitioner service certification exam. Right. So with this topic, we have done with the S3. And again, we are going to discuss S3 CLI in our EC2 module, and we are going to discuss how we can access this S3 and all. So as a closing one, we'll see how to access S3 with third-party application.
Avinash, one quick question. The previous 1 Gbps, 10 Gbps, is there any charge for that? Additional charge?
Of course, yes.
Okay.
For every 1 hour, we are going to get charged for that. It's a bit expensive. So how to access S3 with third-party applications? We have many third-party applications supports the S3. So Cloudberry Explorer. They are like, storage competency partner with AWS. So you definitely can trust that application. Or you can use WinSCP. You might use that for transferring files from Windows to Linux operating system and all. And we have S3 browser. We have CyberDuck and so on. Right. So when coming to this Cloudberry Explorer, I personally prefer to go with that. So go and download Cloudberry Explorer for Amazon S3. They have a freeware. They won't cost us for that freeware. And it's from AWS Marketplace. No, just go to the official website, Cloudberry Explorer. So msp360.com is the official website for them. Go here. And you can try professional features also for the first 15 days. So Cloudberry Explorer freeware. Go here, download freeware. Right. So pro version comes with 15-day trial. So they will, whatever the email ID, whenever you're trying to download, you need to give an email ID. So for that email ID, they are going to send a code also. While activating, you need to give that code. So 15 days, you can explore that. So this is how exactly that application looks like. Cloudberry Explorer for Amazon S3. So now this application need to contact AWS. So for that, so we don't depend on username and passwords. Again, we need to create an IAM user, but we don't depend on username and passwords. Okay, so we need to get access key ID and secret access key. So whenever I open this application, it is asking me select cloud storage, Amazon S3 or Amazon S3 China region, Amazon Glacier, or Amazon Cloud Drive, Alibaba Cloud, or anything S3 compatible. Many options we have. Select Amazon S3, double click. So it is asking what is the display name. So my S3 prod environment or non-prod, you can give any name. What is the access key ID, secret access key you want to get? So one thing I told you, we always go with the least privileges mechanism. So now I need to create an IAM user. That IAM user need to have access on S3 platform. So don't give administrator access and all. So just give required permissions. Or you can create these keys for an existing user also. Here is an existing user. Navigate to security credentials. Here, I don't have any access key ID and secret access key. Click on create access key. Now, here is an access key. Grab it, enter that here, then secret access key. Click on that. Then go here, provide the secret key. Test connection. Click on test connection. It is attempting to connect. So if the configured IAM user have valid permissions on S3 platform, then it shows connection success. Right. So now select this. Okay. Here, left side, my local laptop files. Right side, I can go and pick my S3 environment. So it is going to show all the S3 buckets I have in my AWS environment. Now you can simply perform drag and drop, like, from right to left or left to right. You can configure, or you have some additional options like, sync folder. Okay, click on add sync folder. So I want to synchronize all the data from a folder called ADS. So within that, if you have anything, you can pick that within that ADS. For example, I have a test folder. I want to replicate from that to what S3 bucket. Okay, I want to replicate to this S3 bucket. Then click on OK. So now here one sync folder got created. Now we can go here, click on sync now. Whenever you are doing this sync now, all the files from that folder is going to copy to here to this S3 bucket. So basically I don't have any files in that folder. This is a folder. I think we have. So it is going to synchronize between AWS to local, right? So that is one option. Even you have compare folder option. So basically this compare, no, it's a professional feature. So whatever the locations you want to, so you can. So but as I mentioned, it is a commercial version feature only. So you need to buy the license and all. That is another option. And I told you a couple of things. So someone made a bucket publicly accessible. So one bucket is publicly accessible. So you know the bucket name and you want to access. We have two options. One is either CLI, other one is third-party application. So if you know that particular bucket name, you can go here, you can select this external bucket. Click on that external bucket. What is that external bucket? For example, someone already have, Avinash one bucket and they made it publicly accessible, then go and add that here. So if it is like, someone created, if they made it as a public, you will get like this. But of course, no one did that. It will land up with an error unless someone made it as a public, right? So that is another option. And someone shared a bucket with you. Someone shared a bucket with you and they have enabled requester pace. So how to access? So select this, whatever the bucket name you are giving here. So for that bucket, enable this requester pace. Whenever you enable this, no. So instead of who shared this bucket, who owned this bucket, instead of that guy, you are going to pay for the request or data you are downloading from that bucket. So that is another option. So by using this, we can, and this is to create a new bucket. Not only this, if you are giving a right click on any of the bucket name, you have a lot of options. Okay, move entire data to Glacier or set bucket policies, set bucket ACLs, or you can even storage class options. Here, use standard storage class, standard infrequently or one zone infrequently. Do you want to enable versioning? So, those all things we can just go here. Do you want to enable most of the things, whatever the things you can perform in S3 platform? I believe those all options we can perform from this application. So this is one third-party application. Similarly, you can go and install any of the application like, WinSCP or S3 browser, CyberDuck. You can take any of the application. You need to configure access key ID and secret access key. Then you can access your entire S3 platform, right? So that's third-party application for S3. So any questions here?
Avinash, basically in real time, are we using these tools or we will be using the management console?
99% we use management console, but sometimes we depend on this tool. For example, recently, a couple of months back, we got a request we need to compare the data. So we can use sync command and all. So, in that case, he want to do himself. So he really don't know what is AWS CLI. So we suggested this application. So the client itself, he installed and he used that feature, compare feature. And so mainly for this, we don't need to have any command line knowledge and all to use such type of third-party tools. So sometimes we use, but not on daily basis and all. This is not going to be part of our day-to-day activity and all.
Avinash, are we going to cover AWS CLI?
Yes, we are going to cover that as part of EC2.
Thanks.
Right.
Avinash, one small question now. So I can create a static web pages from S3 bucket. Similarly, can I execute any code from S3 or do I need any EC2 for that?
Okay, so S3 supports only static. If you want to execute, or if you want to like, database connectivity or dynamic website, you definitely need EC2 along with like, database services and all, RDS and all.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
That we will discuss in our coming sessions. Right, so let's have a quick introduction to EC2. So then we will jump in and we will discuss technical things in our next session. So this EC2, so basically EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. EC2 stands for
राजश्री थोड़ा सा इम्पोर्टेंट रह रहे हो इलास्टिक कंप्यूट क्लाउड EC2 मशीन वगैरह तो बोलती होती नहीं मैं क्यों नहीं आया
Okay, so we have EC2. That EC2 stands for Elastic Cloud Compute, not Elastic Cloud Compute. It's Elastic Compute Cloud, right? Many guys easily call it as Elastic Cloud Compute, but it's a EC2 Compute Cloud. So basically, this is a place where we are going to launch our instances. Now, a question: what is instance? So instance is nothing but a server. See, VM, virtual machine, we call it as Azure VM, Azure virtual machine, GCP engine. So these all same. In on-premise, sometimes we call it as a box also. Box is nothing but a server. So in Azure, we call it as a Azure VM, right? In GCP, we call it as a GCP engine. So technically, all are same. Technically, all are, we are referring to a server. So in AWS, we call it as an instance. So I'm not going to call it as a server. I'm going to call it as an instance. So instance is nothing but a server only. That you need to relate. Okay. So that's the first thing. And why this EC2 is very famous, or why organizations prefer to go with this EC2? So a couple of advantages we have. First thing, as we discussed, it's a pay as you go mechanism. So you need a server with very basic configuration for a couple of days. Yes, go and provision that basic configuration for a couple of days, run it for a couple of days. Once you're done with your requirement, delete it. Right. So, so you need a higher configuration to test it. So basically, you don't know what exactly configuration is suitable for your application. So in that case, so you're going to upgrade the configuration, downgrade the configuration. If it is on-premise, it is a bit difficult to upgrade and downgrade the configurations. Why? Because it involves with hardware things, right? So you purchase, like, while designing your application, so you design your application and you decided to purchase a hardware for that. What we will do, as it is an on-premise one, we will keep coming 5 years, minimum 5 years requirement in mind. We are going to keep coming 5 years requirement in mind, and then we are going to finalize the configuration. So always we are going to have, like, we are going to have, like, we are going to behave like optimistic. So we are going to assume we are going to get, like, 1,000 customers, millions of the customers we are going to get. So then we don't purchase a small server initially. So we are going to purchase high configured server. Now, after purchasing high configured server, 2 scenarios. One is matching with our requirement. Second one, like, over provision or under provisioned. You have taken high configured server, but accidentally you have over provisioned it. You already spent an amount on it. So what you are going to do? So you assume you are going to get 1,000 requests per second, but you are getting only 10 second or only 10 requests per second. So this is, like, over provisioned. When coming to under provisioned, so you have assumed that, like, you are going to get 1,000 requests per second. But what happened? Your application is a huge hit, but you are getting 10,000 requests per second. So the prediction must be accurate whenever we are depending on the hardware, on-premise hardware devices. So when coming to AWS EC2, no need to. So we have an option that pay as you go mechanism. At moment you have 1,000 customers. Okay, take a very small configuration server. So tomorrow the count is increasing. You can depend on an option called auto scaling group also. So based on the load, the server count is going to increase automatically, or based on the load, server count is going to decrease automatically. But such type of features we don't have in on-premise. In on-premise, we need to purchase a physical device and we need to connect that devices to network. Then you need to deliver that, right? So manually you need to turn it off or you need to turn it on. So first thing, 100% upfront for on-premise networks. On-premise network 100% upfront means you need to spend 100% of the amount to build the infrastructure. Once it got built, then only you can deliver your application. But here it's not like that. Okay, so at moment, what is your requirement? Take it, okay, use it, then you're done with that, then terminate the environment, settle that month's bill and close it. See, for example, recently Signal application. So when WhatsApp privacy things came, right? So everybody downloaded the Signal application, but I'm not sure how many of you are using it on just like WhatsApp. So, but everyone downloaded. And if you're taking an application like a Face app, so in this Face app, we can upload our photo, and what that application is going to do, it will give, okay, how you are going to look like after, like, you know, whenever you are aged 80 years or 70 years, right? So these applications got fame within a short time, and everybody used for that short duration, and later on no one is using. So the infrastructure need to scale automatically. Based on the requirement, infrastructure need to scale automatically. So EC2 have that advantage. So whatever the application Face app, they use AWS environment. Netflix, they use AWS environment. So based on the load, so they are going to provision the resources and it is going to scale in and scale out. So that is a main advantage of EC2. So this is like a marketing kind of thing on EC2, not a technical kind of things. Technical kind of things we will start discussing from our tomorrow session onwards. So mainly we have some EC2 instance types: on-demand instances, on-demand EC2 instance, reserved EC2 instances, and spot EC2 instances. Okay, so these things we will discuss, and we will, if time permits, we will launch our first EC2 instance also in our tomorrow session, right? So that is one, that is an introduction to EC2. And one point I forgot to mention related to S3 bucket, guys. So let me quickly jump into S3 and let me show you a couple of slides for that. So naming standard, how exactly we are going to use that naming standard and what is the performance we are going to get for this S3 platform. Okay, so when coming to this S3 platform, you know, based on the prefixes, this S3 gives the performance. We are going to get 3,500 put operation per prefix per second. And we can get 5,500 get operation per prefix per second. So let's take an S3 bucket. So you have an S3 bucket. Within this S3 bucket, directly you are storing all the data. If you are directly storing all the data within this S3 platform, so you are going to get this performance: 3,000 put operations and 5,500 get operations. Okay, so bad. You are expecting, like, you know, 10,000 get operations per second. This is uploads and this is downloads. So you're expecting 10,000 downloads per second. So in that case, you know how to scale the resources, right? So for that, we need to depend on prefix mechanism. When coming to this prefix mechanism, so you have a folder 1, right? You have folder 2. So now what happened, instead of directly storing all the data, so now what happened, this particular prefix will give 3500. So 3500 put operation it will give, and 5500 get operation it will give. So another folder is there. So another folder, it is also going to give 3500 put operation and 5500 get operation it is going to give. So within a bucket, create 2 folders as our requirement is 10,000 get operations per second. So put a folder 1, add some data there, put folder 2, add some data there. So for every prefix, see, that's what I mentioned here. For every prefix, the performance comes from the prefix. We are going to get 3500. I have a couple of images for that. See, this is an example for the naming prefixes. So you have a bucket. Within that bucket, directly you are storing all your data. This is your bucket. You are nowhere adding any prefixes and all. You're directly storing all your data. So then, bit difficult to search. See, simple mechanism, guys. You have a folder. You have a folder, for example, my pictures. Now, within that, you have added all the pictures without any folder and all. But what you're doing, okay, this is a Paris pictures. So this is like, USA pictures. So now within this, if you want to find Paris pictures, you can simply go to this folder and you can find all the files here. And within this Paris also, you're looking for a particular day. So then you can look by using, for example, you're adding, okay. So in Paris, whatever the pictures we have taken, 3rd month, 8th, then picture 1. Then you have like, similar one for, 3rd month, 9th day, like, you have such type of unique naming prefixes, then it's easy to search, right? So here you're directly storing all the data. This is not a recommended method. So then what is the recommended method? So increase the randomness in the file names. So same file, see here, 2016, 12, 15, photo 1. So December 15, 2016, they took a photo. The same, what they did, they added some randomness to the file. 15th, they made it as a 51. 12, they made it as a 21. So they're adding randomness to this, the key name. This is also fine, but what is the end performance output? The end output performance, as you're directly storing inside a bucket. So we are going to get 3500 put operations and 5500 get operations only. But I want to get more performance than this. So add a prefix. See here, within your bucket, you have a prefix called holiday. You have a prefix called school. You have a prefix called family. So by adding these prefixes, now holiday folder will give 3500 put and 5500 gets. School folder will give 3500 puts and 5500 gets, and also family. Right. So at a time to this particular folder 3500 to this 3500 to this 3500. So this is a mechanism we follow. As a step 1, increase the randomness in the name. Try to use prefixes. That is the first recommended one. But before that, basic one is try to add or increase randomness to object names. The search query is going to be pretty quick whenever we have some randomness to that files, right? So this is how exactly we scale the performance of an S3 platform, right? So now directly, instead of storing pictures, okay, have a folder, another folder, then that gives a performance. Not to the subfolders. Whenever you are going to subfolders, it won't give. So within the bucket, next to that bucket, whatever the prefixes you have, that prefixes to this data. Prefixes to this data is nothing but this folder, right? So add more prefixes, then you will get like, good performance for the S3 platform. So that is the only mechanism we have. Even if you contact AWS also, they will suggest the same. They won't have button to increase the, download or upload values. So you need to maintain such type of naming strategies for your data, right? So any questions on this?
I have a question. So take an example, we put it like 100 files into one folder, and I just want to understand the latest one. So is there any mechanism or tool, or we need to launch an EC2 server and then need to connect with S3, and then we utilize then EC2 instances
You
or
mean
capability?
which one is uploaded most recently? You want to filter with that, or?
Yes, which one is like updated recently?
So here we have last modified option is there. You can filter by using last modified from the console. For example, this is the most recent upload I perform on this bucket. We can filter by using this. So this last modified date is there, right? By using that metric, yes, you can filter.
Got it.
So let me quickly upload this files to our GitHub. So I'm going to share a S3 quiz document in our Slack channel, guys. So whoever is not part of that Slack, so please spare some time and join to the Slack channel. So today, later on today, I'm going to upload S3 quiz document to that Slack channel. Sorry?
Could you ping me a Slack channel name?
Okay.
So overall questions about the S3 only these whichever you shown previously, Avinash, or any additional
New
questions? Okay.
So here I pasted the link. You can just copy and paste. It's not going to take more than a couple of minutes, right? So search for this Feb 2021 and you can find this here. Just join only 24 members minus 123 members at moment here in this channel. So whoever is not part of this Slack, just join here. Right, so that's it for today's session. See you again tomorrow with EC2. EC2 is a very, very important module, guys. So see you again tomorrow. Thank you.